Charlie Sheen's life, well, it's been kind of a mess. He's had huge highs, big movie roles, crazy fame, but also some really dark moments that hit his career hard. Today we're going to look at how his story started, where it went, and why it turned into such a dramatic journey. Our story begins on September 3rd, 1965, in the bustling city of New York, when a boy named Carlos Irwin Estevez was born. His father, Martin Sheen, and his mother, Janet Templeton, welcomed him as the youngest of 3 siblings. His brothers were Emilio and Ramon. Carlos inherited an early passion for acting from his father, who was also an actor. Together with his brothers and some friends, he created homemade films right at home. As a youth, he worked various jobs, caddying, delivering newspapers, and more, and faced periods of financial hardship. He attended Santa Monica High School, but a few weeks before his scheduled graduation, he was expelled due to poor grades and attendance. After that, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He decided to pursue acting. And it was then that he adopted the stage name Charlie Sheen, as we all know him today. The surname Sheen came from his father, who had adopted it in honor of a Catholic archbishop. Sheen's film career began in 1983, when he was cast as Ron in Grizzly 2, The Predator, which, fun fact, remained unreleased until 2020. Quite a delay. Over the years, he appeared in numerous movies. Red Dawn in 1984, Young Guns in 1988, The Rookie in 1990, and Hot Shots, Part 2 in 1993. But the films that truly marked his breakthrough came in 1986 and 1987, when he starred in Platoon, directed by Oliver Stone, and Wall Street. While many of his movies showcased his signature humor, these two established him as a serious actor. From 2000 to 2002, he replaced Michael J. Fox on Spin City, playing the new deputy mayor of New York City, a role that eventually earned him a Golden Globe for Best Lead Actor in a Television Series. A year later, he took on his most iconic role, Charlie Harper, a bachelor jingle writer living in Malibu who loves partying, drinking, womanizing, and generally avoiding responsibility. This series became his biggest role yet, not just for its massive popularity and high viewership, but also for the paycheck. That year, he became the highest paid actor on television, earning an astonishing $1.8 million per episode. And yes, you heard that right, $1.8 million. Throughout his life, he had many romantic conquests and was married 3 times, to Donna Peel, Denise Richards, and Brooke Mueller. In a 2025 interview, he even claimed to have been intimate with 47,000 women. While that number is clearly exaggerated, the message is unmistakable. He also has 5 children, most of them with different mothers. His first, Cassandra, was born when he was just 19 years old, with his high school girlfriend, Paula Prophet. Then came Sammy Sheen, born in 2004 with Denise Richards, followed a year later by their second daughter, Lola Rose Sheen. His twin sons, Bob and Max Sheen, were born to Brooke Mueller some years later. Despite his 3 marriages and 5 children, Charlie Sheen is currently single and has not remarried. He's said to have been single since 2017, and there's a reason for that. Wait for the next chapter, and you'll understand why. For years, he seemed like a great actor, and through the characters he played, he came across as a laid-back, likable guy. But behind the scenes, his life was full of ups and downs. In 1995, he admitted under oath that he had spent $50,000 in a single year on escorts. A year later, he was charged following an altercation with his then-girlfriend, Brittany Ashland. He initially pleaded not guilty, but later changed his plea to no contest. The outcome was a suspended sentence, probation, and community service. And that was only the beginning of his long downward spiral. In 1997, he went through his first publicly known addiction crisis. After a near-fatal overdose, he was found unconscious at his home in Los Angeles and rushed to the hospital. Following his recovery, he entered a detoxification program. The next few years were relatively good for Charlie. No major downfalls, aside from the breakup of his second marriage. He also married Brooke Mueller and enjoyed a career high with 2.5 Men and his Golden Globe win. However, just a year after their marriage, Charlie Sheen was arrested in Aspen, Colorado, following allegations of assault and death threats against his wife. He was charged with third-degree assault, menacing, and criminal mischief. Mueller claimed that he had grabbed her by the throat and threatened her with a knife. The outcome: 30 days in rehab, community service, and 3 months of probation. This arrest and the intense publicity that followed marked the beginning of a turbulent period of legal and personal struggles for Sheen, one that ultimately led to his departure from 2.5 Men in 2011. Yep, you probably didn't expect that. The very show that made him a global star and paid him $1.8 million per episode ended up firing him. After 8 seasons of success, the situation behind the scenes began to spiral out of control. Sheen's behavior became increasingly erratic and unpredictable. He frequently missed filming days, had outbursts towards staff, and clashed with the show's creator, Chuck Lorre. Meanwhile, the tabloids were filled with reports of heavy drug use, non-stop partying, and bizarre public statements. During interviews at the time, Sheen became known for his outrageous and arrogant remarks, including the now famous phrases "winning" and "tiger blood," which quickly went viral. He claimed to be stronger than everyone and said that he lives by different rules. As we mentioned, his behavior had become increasingly erratic, so the production company, Warner Brothers, decided to fire him, citing dangerous and self-destructive behavior. This marked the end of the most successful phase of his career. After his dismissal, Sheen entered a period of public meltdown, filled with bizarre interviews, clashes with the media, and a flood of YouTube videos that kept his name constantly in the headlines. What came next was a period of intense personal struggle. On November 17, 2015, Charlie Sheen appeared on NBC's Today Show and publicly revealed that he was HIV positive. Sheen said he had been diagnosed in 2011 and described those 4 years as a nightmare, filled with fear, guilt, and blackmail. He also admitted to having paid around $10 million to people who had extorted him in exchange for keeping his diagnosis secret. After decades of substance abuse, legal troubles, and public scandals, Charlie Sheen began a journey towards sobriety and personal reconstruction around 2017. Sheen has described that year as a turning point in his life. He stopped using drugs and alcohol and made the conscious decision to take full responsibility for his past. He explained that this decision stemmed from his desire to protect his family, gain stability, and repair the relationships he had damaged. In recent interviews, he has said, "Sobriety hasn't just made me a better person, it's made me a father, a friend, and a son again." Today, Sheen leads a quiet life, avoiding the spotlight and focusing on his health and family. He maintains good relations with his ex-wives, most notably Denise Richards, with whom he co-parents their children. In the fall of 2025, Sheen released his memoir, The Book of Sheen. In it, he recounts, in his own voice, his journey from fame and excess to collapse and personal redemption. The book is marked by honesty, remorse, and self-reflection, offering a candid look at his life and choices. And with that, the story of Charlie Sheen comes to a close. His life has been nothing short of controversial, but one thing is clear: he has made a genuine effort to change. For some, that effort may be enough. For others, perhaps not. Tell us in the comments who you'd like to see featured next, and we'll see you in the next one.